Every planet has its own myths and legends. On every planet they tell of monsters and demons, of creatures of the night. And on every planet they have stories about vampires. There's a common theme. Undead, blood-sucking creatures that fear sunlight and can only be killed by a stake through the heart or beheading. Perhaps several myths have become confused. But the vampires that terrorized Venice weren't actually vampires at all. They were creatures so terrible they didn't mind if the locals mistook them for vampires. They were the last survivors of an aquatic race from the planet Saturnine. Only one female, Rosanna, and her male children survived the journey to Earth. They escaped from their dying planet through a crack in space and time. But for Rosanna's race to continue to survive, she needed brides for her sons. So, she set about finding them. The Saturninians hid behind perception filters that made people see them as human. But the human mind struggles to fit things into its own experience and view of the universe. People felt the threat. They struggled to rationalize it in what they thought they saw. So, they saw the teeth. The terrible, sharp, ripping teeth of the aliens. A subconscious image relayed to the brain as a warning of the awful danger, a hint of the creature's true form. And people saw nothing in a mirror, no reflection, like a traditional vampire, just empty space where the reflection should be. But the disguise was good enough to fool most of the city, and together with her eldest son, Francesco, Rosanna set up a school for girls. They drained the blood from the girls, replacing it with their own, converting the young women into their own species. The girls began to shun the sunlight, to burn in it. They were gradually changing into brides for the sons of Rosanna. And the people of Venice couldn't see what was happening, couldn't see the creatures for what they really were, not until the doctor arrived. But he realized that closing Venice off from the rest of the world and converting the population into creatures like themselves was only the start of the aliens' plan. They intended to turn Venice into an ideal habitat for themselves, to sink Venice beneath the water. Useful spoilers. How to deal with a vampire. Whether they're actually vampires or fish people from outer space, sunlight is a good defense. It burns them, keeps them away from you. Or you can just blow them up. So, if all else fails, make sure you have the doctor on your side. Make sure he's there when the darkness comes and the vampires rise. If anyone can save you from the monsters, he can.